So we actually ran away from work to get a drink today.
As we
I haven't
do.
been able to do that in a bit actually.
I know.
Oh, when we get settled and everything, I got a message on Facebook this morning. So there's this lady, she says she's a single parent and she's in love with her friend. So she doesn't know what to do by way of getting into a relationship. So she wants some advice.
I like this one. I like this one.
Oh, this is one of my favorite Vidas, by the way. I love the way it's smack in the middle of the city.
Gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous.
So maybe sit over here.
Wait. Hi guys, my name is Kuda and you're watching Citi Scape on Citi TV. You guys can definitely reach us at Citi Showbiz on Twitter, and my personal account is @KudaGH. Alrighty then, so this very interesting, what was it, a tweet?
No, it was a Facebook message to my personal account. I mean, she's not my friend on Facebook or anything, but essentially she says, okay, you and Kuda seem to know a lot of things. Pretty smart. And so she says, you know what, I don't know if you guys have kids, but essentially I'm a single parent. I'm in love with my friend, and I don't know if it's a good or bad idea to get into a relationship with him. So I proceeded to ask her, I said, well, how old are your kids? And she said, well, her eldest is 10, 10 next month, and then her second born is 7. So I told her, okay, so yeah, so we'll try to work around and see what kind of advice we can give her.
So starting out, this is a little bit of a disclaimer. We're not parents ourselves, are we? We're not. But we do have life experience. We do have life experience, right? We've had family, friends, family, very close family, go through similar things. Right, so to start with, how important is it for a single mother to have a life period?
You see, it's a very fine balance because on the one hand, if you've come out of a difficult relationship, maybe your marriage ended in divorce and you were saddled with the kids, maybe you had a situation where you've lost a partner, maybe things just didn't go well with you and the father of your children or your child, and for that reason you can't be together, and so you become a single parent. The situations are all different, but it doesn't dumb down the fact that in either situation it will be difficult for you. So you're already dealing with all this emotional stress. God knows kids come with their own issues. You're sending them to school, there are the finances, clothing them, feeding them. You
and it is important to state that it's not a crime. It's not something to be shunned or something to be shy of.
Exactly.
Things happen. People change. Marriages don't work out. Relationships don't work out, and you end up one way or the other being a single parent.
Most definitely.
Okay.
You know, so you're dealing with all this as a mother, and I mean, we're human beings. We're made to be paired with a partner or a mate, okay? And so it's natural to want to get into a relationship again. The difficulty comes with, first of all, knowing how attached your children are to you and whether they are ready to see you with someone else, especially if they knew their father, you know. And even in the instance where they didn't, you also don't want to be that mother who is changing boyfriends all the time, changing partners all the time, confuses the kids. At that age, you were talking about 7 and 10, you know, at those ages, kids are typically looking for fatherly love as well, you know, especially if it's a boy. He sees his friends, hears them talk about their fathers, playing football with them, going out with them. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. So especially if this child is a boy or these children are boys, it would be very interesting for them to have, you know, a father figure in their lives. So now, assuming you're with one person, it doesn't work out after 5 months, 6 months, and the person is out the window. You've already started calling the person daddy just because the person is spending time with them, and then he's out of your life. They lose that. Someone else comes in. You confuse the kids. So I would say, before anything, even if you're going to be dating men, you know, or women for that matter, because there are some single fathers as well. You know, if you're going to be dating anyone, you need to consider the fact that your kids are an important part of your life. Men and women come and go, but your children are always with you.
And so, I feel like it's also important to know and to state from the get-go that I'm not sort of a one package deal.
Exactly.
Right?
Yes.
I am one package in the sense that, okay, well, you and I are going to be together, but I come with two other people, or three other people, or one other person. It's important to state that, so that that man knows from the get-go that it's not one of those hit and run type situations. If you're coming into my life, you're coming into mine and my children's life.
Very true. And a lot of women especially fail to mention that men are typically more upfront, typically, if they're mature men. That's why I said men, no boys. They're typically more upfront when they have kids. The way our society is, I mean, it always boils back down to society and culture. You know, first of all, we tend to be a very religious society, a very, you know, whether it's Christian, Muslim. So having children outside of wedlock, if that is the case, that's one thing on its own. So already you're trying to hide these kids. You don't want to bother people so that people will have the chance to insult you and say, why did you go and, excuse me, say open your legs if you're already tapped here?
Second Image International admissions in progress. Courses available include hairdressing, beauty therapy and fashion. Call us on 0243 331 999. Evening and weekend classes are also available.
Right, and at the same time, people may assume that, one, if you're a single father, they may assume you're one of those hit and run type guys.
Precisely, which might not be the case. Some women have kids with men and run away.
Absolutely.
We know people like that.
We do.
You know?
And if you're a single mother, people assume that you've been sleeping around and therefore you got pregnant and nobody wanted to marry you, or someone left you because there's something wrong with you.
But that's not always the case. No. So because of that, a lot of women tend to shy away from stating that up front. But like you're saying, you need to be proud of your kids. Let me just put that out there. You need to be proud of your kids. Children are a gift from God, regardless of the circumstances under which they came to you. And so if you're meeting a man and you're interested in him and you think there's something that could happen between you, you want to tell him, okay, you know what, this is my situation, I have kids, I'm not expecting you to take care of them, so that the men also don't feel like you're trying to tag along with them, so that they start paying for your upkeep and the upkeep of your kids. So okay, so I just wanted to put that out there. Okay. Now after you've done that, you need to study people. Time and time again, we said on this show, I mean, to each other, to other people, that in our society, once again, we tend to skip the important stages leading to marriage or to serious relationships.
So that dating stage.
Yes, dating. Very, very important. I mean, when you're dating, it doesn't have to be sexual.
Right.
You don't need to spend 24/7 with a person or start sleeping at a person's house. You can actually be hanging out with different guys or different women. You know, just getting to know. Yeah, and mind you, if you've come out of a bad relationship and you've had kids, you have a 10-year-old and a 7-year-old, you haven't been in a relationship for at least 7 years.
Right.
You might have changed and you don't even realize. You might not know yourself anymore. So you want to mingle with different people so that you can get a sense of who you are and what you need and what you like at this point in your life.
And what type of man suits you, suits your lifestyle. And I do want to stress that when you are in this dating stage, it may be dating for a month, it may be dating for 2 months, it may be dating for 3 months, some people even a year. You don't have to introduce your kids at that stage.
No, you don't.
And the man has to stay away from the home. Yes.
So I don't confuse the kids. So yes, it's important that you let the man know, this is my situation. I have 2 kids or 3 kids or a child. But you don't take him to your home. Let him start spending nights there so that the children get confused. You see, and kids are very impressionable. They take these things, they carry these things on, and then before you realize, the mistakes, quote unquote, that you've made in your life, your kids are repeating them because that's what you've taught them.
That's what they saw. They thought it was okay, right? And we're not trying to sort of tell you how to live your lives or anything of that sort. We're just trying to say the bigger picture here are your children. Your children, that's the biggest picture in this entire dating situation. So before anything, before you think about yourself, you need to think my kids. Yes, you're allowed to date. Yes, you're allowed to go out and about and have a good time, go out to clubs and do this, that, and the other. But don't let these men or women follow you back to the home and your kids wake up in the morning and they're cooking breakfast.
Mind you, these men and women are not your husbands and wives.
Absolutely.
You see, and I know some people will say, oh, but we are also important. If you're not happy, our kids will not be happy. Let me tell you why your kids are the most important in this situation. You see, if you don't raise your kids a certain way, you don't give them the environment that they need to become responsible adults, you create a burden for society in the long run.
Absolutely.
It might be 10 years, 20 years down the line, but they become someone else's problem. Just like we have situations where people have become our problem as a country, as a society. Now, apart from that, if ever you felt that you did something wrong in your life, and that is why you've ended up as a single parent, a single father, a single mother, it's through your kids that you get to prove to the world that it was indeed a blessing for you to go through that situation in the first place.
It teaches you.
Your kids should be your testimony.
Absolutely.
So those are two important reasons why your kids are the most important at that point in time. Now, for this particular lady's case, you're saying your friend. I don't know whether, I know she should be watching this, you know. I don't know whether your friend has been a friend for a long time, whether he's already met your kids. I don't know what the situation is, but I'll say you need to treat it as a specific case, you know, and deal with the situation at hand. If he's somebody you've known for a long time and he's been there, he might not be coming to your home all the time, but he's a sort of person, okay, my kids are sick. He doesn't mind giving you his insurance card to take the kids to the hospital. You know, it's a child's birthday. He's buying something. Maybe there could be something there. But again, it's not a reason to hop into a relationship.
And
I've seen several instances.
And with that, people need to also be careful. Just because your friend's around all the time as a friend, he's there with your children, he's there with you, it does not mean he feels the same way. It does not mean he wants to be with you. And it's absolutely important to sort of suss out the situation and see where that other person is.
It could just be that because you're needy in the sense of some kind of attention, you're reading all or should I say interpreting the signals wrongly. You know, he's generally just being a good Samaritan.
Absolutely. It's a very broad topic. So guys, this is the end of part 1. We're talking about a young lady, or a grown woman rather, that sent us in a message telling us how she's a single mom and she's in love with her friend. So just letting her know ways that she can go about it and not feel bad for her feelings. We'll see you guys next week with part 2. It's a very broad topic, like I said. All right, you can follow us again at Citi Showbiz and myself at Kuda. See you guys part 2.